Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good morning to Karachi. Whenever we have these events in Islamabad and Lahore and Karachi, the only difference that I see is Karachi wakes up a bit late. So some of our guests are on the way. There are some good things which I told in Islamabad that they were also late for the first time, and they're learning some bad things from Karachi, although there's a lot of good things that we can learn from Karachi. So since I'm going to be the opening bat for the day, I'd just like to, because I see some new faces around, so I'll just give you a 1-minute introduction on the CEOs Club of Pakistan. The CEOs Club in Pakistan started its journey about 11 years ago with the idea from my friend Nijaz Nisar. He said he was sick and tired of reading about Western leaders, Warren Buffett, Robert Wood Johnson, Henry Ford, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and so forth. And then he started searching that, are there successes in Pakistan? And the answer was yes. So he started wandering around and started meeting people. And to cut the long chase, he's now recorded more than 1,000 successes of Pakistan in a shape of the book that we'll be seeing today. But this data bank of 1,000 successes in Pakistan, this serves as an inspiration to the young leaders. And also it serves as a data bank where a lot of our business friends sitting here, including myself, have benefited from this. We have started interacting with those 1,000 people, and I've actually made some good business out of it. So that's a job well done from the CEOs Club of Pakistan. Today's topic, Turnaround Pakistan, Reshaping Its Future, is a topic that I've been hearing into my ears for a very long time now. But I think in today's world, where there are a lot of concerns in Pakistan at the moment with the slipping of the Pak rupee, the depreciation of the reserves of the Federal Bank and so forth, the inflation spiraling up, this topic is actually very hot. And it needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed now, because each morning that we wake up, another day, we are accumulating and compounding the problems. So this is a fantastic forum where we have the policy makers, the business leaders, the politicians, the regulators, the business community, the academia, everybody's here. So what better platform can this be? We all just need to get out of our silos, connect the dots, and start boiling our own cup of tea instead of trying to boil the ocean. A lot of people ask me, आप ये भी करें, आप ये भी करें. तो जो आप कर सकते हैं, आप वो तो कर लें कम से कम. I think that is something, if you can do a very little, if you can get one investor to come into Pakistan, if you invest $1 million alone, I think you have done your job. So that is the lens that we need to wear and take this country out of the current crisis. I don't want to use the word crisis, but the current issues that we are facing. In today's event, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the guest list. We were initially having the Prime Minister coming, Mr. Hassan Iqbal, Mr. Murad Ali Shah, but in the last 24 hours, things are not looking good as you are looking in the media. So those who were here went to Islamabad, those who were in Islamabad are not allowed to come. And in fact, Prime Minister Saab was very kind enough to actually direct Mr. Ishaq Dar Saab to come and actually represent this group on his behalf. But unfortunately, the events are not in a good shape at the moment in this country. So I'm sure you all understand, but some of them will be addressing us through a video comm. So this is a very unique day where we are actually chasing for our leaders and they are actually hiding behind. So let's hope for the best, sir. To turn around, let me just now take 2 minutes to set the tone for today. I think Javed Jabbar Saab is here, so may I request Nazia to please uh, bring Javed Saab to the stage because his presence will certainly grace the stage more. Javed Saab, welcome, sir. I'm sure there are a lot of eminent speakers that will be longing to hear. I just want to make a small statement that to turn around Pakistan, you need, sir, four things. The first is exports. So no country in the world can prosper without transacting business with other countries. We need to produce things locally, which our neighbors have done for a very long time. And if I recall my early days and your early days, we used to laugh at our neighbors when they used to have only 2 car models. And then we used to brag about that we have this cars and this car. And look at today, they're making all these cars that we used to brag about in their own home country, and we are still not able to make an engine in a car in Pakistan. So I think we need to really wake up. That is what I call turnaround. So no country in the world can prosper without exports. Our exports in Pakistan for the last 10, 15 years has been hovering around in the tune of $25 to $30 billion mark, if that is what we can recall for the last decade. And if you just look at Vietnam, which is around the corner, about 10, 15 years ago, their numbers were similar to us. Today, they've crossed about $150 billion of export. Bangladesh is double their exports. India's IT export is around $150 billion, which is probably more equal to the petro export dollars of Saudi Arabia. Says a lot, sir. So that is the first ingredient that is seriously missing. And we are a very textile-based economy, and we are into textile romance, but I'm sure there are many other industries like the mining, the fisheries. Our Balochistan province is often ignored, and I speak on their behalf because I'm working very closely with them these days. Our 74% of coastline in Pakistan is in Balochistan, so we are a very big marine economy. All the fruits that you eat, the apples, cherries, almonds, 90%, and grapes come from Balochistan. They're mines. We have one of the largest gold reserves in the world. Just the thought of gold reserves in the world, big ones, is such a soothing factor. So, sir, what do we need? And I told Mr. Hassan Iqbal, he's not here. I said, sir, start digging into Balochistan. That is what we need to do. So, with that, the second most important thing is linked is the FDI. We need to actually chase people, both the Pakistani diaspora and the foreigners alike, to come to Pakistan. Let us showcase them the opportunity. Let us make them feel home. Let us give them the security. Let us give them good governance. They will come and invest in your country. We are living in a connected world. When you talk about exports, we need to let people also come into your country and let them invest. So that is the second most important ingredient. The third is good governance. Unfortunately, the ministers are not here, but I'm sure this will be viral and they'll be hearing this. I think this is under their direct influence. With good governance, you bring in accountability, you bring in merits, and that is good transparency, and that is what will make foreign investors at ease to come and do business in your country. The fourth part is the developed, skilled human resources. Sir, we are a population of 230 million people. We're now the 5th most populous country in the world. 65% of our people are under 25 years and younger. We talk about it, brag about it every time that you talk to foreigners, I talk to foreigners. But if we don't pay attention to this youth now, you will have a liability of this 65%, which is about 150 million people. What will you do with them? So we need to bring in social stability. And with social stability and economic stability, they're all glued in together. So please, these 4 things are very critical. I'm addressing to the business community. I'm addressing, there'll be some foreign delegates coming shortly to us as well. And the policy makers, the regulators. So, my dear friends, Pakistan is at a crossroads. And this is a time for us to act a very little share of our own. Please, as I say, do not boil the ocean. Just try to boil your own cup. Do good in your own ways. Do good for yourself, and that good to yourself will be good for the country. Lastly, I would like to point out that the CEOs Club of Pakistan has, mashallah, turned out into a big power hub. It is a major think tank where we gather everybody under one roof. And we are no longer a Pakistani phenomenon. We started a maiden journey in 2019, just before COVID, to UK, where the High Commission of Pakistan hosted us, where we had the Pakistani diaspora. Had COVID not come our way, we would have actually got some investments into Pakistan. And lately we had the opportunity, myself and Ijaz were in Davos. And Ikram Sehgal Saab is not here. Actually, he's had a heart procedure in Abu Dhabi. So I think we should pray for his early recovery. He was very kind enough to host me and Ijaz to launch the CEOs Club in Switzerland, Davos. Then Ijaz went on to Germany and to Netherlands. And lately, the ambassador of Hungary, who is not here, he committed to us in Islamabad that we'll be taking our delegation to Hungary, where they will let us interact with their business community. And he's asked us to actually write a book of 100 CEOs in their country. Imagine if that we can do to all countries. We'll have a huge data bank. We'll have an app where people will be able to transact business not just in Pakistan, but across the world. And we will lead that. So there are some good things happening in this country. Gentlemen, I want you to give you a clap for yourself that we're doing something good. Lastly, before I pen off, Ijaz just told me last night that we will be, inshallah, doing our next CEO summit in Dubai. Very soon, this will be in May. The dates, of course, has to be confirmed because all big folks are here to gather everybody, and one time it's a logistical nightmare. So we'll be announcing the date, and I'm sure you'll be able to join us all. So with this, I thank you all for being here. It's very early in the morning. Just wake up and let's hear some fantastic speakers along the way. Thank you.